Well, ladies and gentlemen, it may be Christmas Eve, but that does not stop these stories coming in that just pretty much sum up our woke liberal society and how much of an issue the culture, the ideology is within schools. You know, I often speak about these teachers who are all for the craziness going on and they actively go out of their way to make sure it's pushed in the schools, in the classrooms. But what about the teachers that push back against it? What about the teachers that don't play along and stand up for the truth? Well, as you're going to find out, they get fired and banned. Now, before we carry on with this one, if you could, make sure to leave a like rating as it really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this article. The Telegraph go on to report Kevin Lister, 60, lost his job at a further education college after refusing to use a male name and pronouns to refer to a 17-year-old female pupil who identified as a boy. He also warned the pupil against irreversible surgical treatment. Mr. Lister said he had lost the best job in the world after 16 years of teaching. Hey, look, man, misgendering, one of the biggest crimes one can commit, right? Because how dare somebody not reaffirm how somebody else feels? How dare somebody not ignore their own eyes, their own thoughts, and their own ears? And that's one of the fundamental requests from the woke activists, right? To ignore the truth, ignore everything you know. So in the end, people stand for everything. So in the end, they stand for absolutely nothing. But this has been labeled as dangerous and affecting the students' well-being. But I would say allowing students to go down the road of identifying as XYZ, encouraging them to socially transition, which teachers do. And then after that, you know, they go ahead and take medication. And then in the future, they get irreversible surgeries or may get those surgeries. Is that not affecting their well-being and mental health? Of course it is, but they just ignore that because they have to push the agenda. And this teacher, well, he wasn't having any of it, was he? And I would even say warning these students about irreversible surgeries. Is that not looking out for somebody? That's more than these woke activist teachers do by encouraging them to socially transition. So down the road, they then consider the medication, the surgery. But because of that, because of an ideology, he has lost his job. He's been teaching for 16 years, and that's how they value somebody's career. And that's how powerful the woke mob really is. You can be teaching for 16 years, but as soon as you don't play along, that's it. You're fired. Here he is on GBNews around a month ago now, where they talk about the situation, obviously, and I'm just going to play a clip that's a few minutes long where he explains the situation, gives a lot more context to it so we can understand it a little bit more. Take a watch.
A former maths teacher who found himself sacked for refusing to call a child by their preferred pronoun is still unable to get a job in teaching more than a year later. Kevin Lister taught maths for 18 years before he was dismissed for gross misconduct. Ex-maths teacher and bad law spokesman Kevin Lister joins us now to explain what happened. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Andy.
Now, Kevin, you've been on the show before and you told your story, but a lot of people watching won't know about it. What happened to you?
So, yeah, just a quick summary. So, I had a student. She was 17 years old. She tells me that she wants to change her name. I raise it as a safeguarding, change her name obviously to a male name. I raised a safeguarding concern. The college completely ignored the safeguarding concern, then took a series of actions to encourage the risk that I was warning about. So I then obviously did not support her desire to be referred to as a boy. Things kind of quietened off there, and eventually a friend subsequently decided to have a go at me and tell me that I had to call her a boy and then put a complaint in against me. At the same time, I raised a second safeguarding concern that related to a member of staff who boasted in a training session how many students that she had directly supported to transition. So I raised that as a safeguarding concern. That was ignored. And then for all of that, I was then branded as transphobic and then dismissed.
So a lot of people would say that if you're not affirming that pupil's chosen gender, that you are causing that pupil emotional and psychological harm.
Correct. And what's basically happened is the college have then referred me to the LADO, and then from the LADO to the DBS, the Disclosure and Barring Service. Part of that justification was that I was right-wing. Because I did not confirm her, then it makes me right-wing.
I wasn't aware that being right-wing was against the law anyway.
Apparently so.
OK, but this issue has nothing to do with left or right, as it happens.
Of course, but that was the justification.
Sorry, Kevin, just to clarify, when you say that you raised a safeguarding issue, what do you mean by that? Where is the risk here?
Yeah, so as a teacher, if you have a safeguarding concern, you have a right, duty and obligation to raise that concern and for that concern to be investigated formally. My concern is that if I was to support her belief that she is a boy and encourage her to adopt a male persona, it then starts that social transition. The next stage is easier for her to move on to, which is to start self-medicating, perhaps with testosterone. This is all easily available stuff now. You can buy it in any gym. So as soon as you encourage somebody down that route and you reinforce that view of them that they are in the wrong body and that the she should be a he, you open the gateway then for that really fast, smooth transition. And that's well documented in the Cass Review and elsewhere.
Damn, that is the position we're in right now. You could just see how powerful this is. You either reaffirm, play along, or you get fired. And I'm sure there are other teachers out there who feel the same, right? Not all teachers agree with it, but they may be scared to also face consequences and get fired. And then some people will say, well, the teacher shouldn't be getting involved in the first place. This teacher here shouldn't have said anything. But if you're going to approach a teacher and ask them, hey, look, you're going to tell this student that they are in fact a boy and use the right pronouns, then they have a choice whether to play along or not. You can't force somebody to do that. And they chose not to, and they spoke up for the truth. However, we now have news, and this is why I'm making the video today. The teacher has actually been banned from the profession. Yeah, a teacher has been banned from the profession for misgendering a pupil, with his ban coming through on the very same day the government issued guidance to protect staff on trans issues, the Telegraph can reveal. He was referred to the Disclosure and Barring Service DBS, which informed him that he would be banned from working with children on December 19th, the same day the government issued its long-awaited trans guidance, including the provision that teachers should not be compelled to use a different pronoun if a child decides they want to change their gender. Mr. Lister said the ruling fundamentally undermined the comprehensive guidance issued by the Department for Education, which ministers claim will give schools greater confidence in navigating trans issues. Well, this is the thing with the guidance, and you're going to see this in the article as well. It's just guidance, right? It's not mandatory, and it can be exploited, and teachers can still be affected by this. The former maths teacher said the DBS ruling had exposed the flaws in the draft guidance, which is non-statutory and under consultation until March. Mr. Lister said it is like driving a bulldozer through the guidance, and it's not going to provide the protection that teachers are going to be looking for. Any school anywhere in the country now can do this to any teacher who decides to follow the guidance. What they've done to me: sack them, send them off to DBS, and have them basically disbarred. He added the guidance has been undermined on day one. While the guidance is just guidance and not statutory, then this situation can continue. Ministers opted for a non-statutory guidance instead of a law that would have to go through a lengthy legislative process, prompting claims that teachers can simply ignore the guidance. And this is why a lot of people have an issue with this guidance, because it really doesn't do anything. And this has been promised since 2018, 5 years. And this is what they do with it. Hey, look, it's a step in the right direction, but obviously, clearly, there needs to be more measures around this. Critics, including the former Prime Minister Liz Truss, fear activists could exploit loopholes and have called for changes to be backed by the full force of the law. The DBS concluded that Mr. Lister had caused emotional harm to the student. What? You have got to be kidding me. And would likely do so again if he was allowed to work with children in the future. So the DBS have literally put him in the same category as awful, disgraceful teachers, just because he misgendered somebody, just because he didn't reaffirm how an individual felt. He stood by the truth, and this is what they do to him. I'm honestly losing words at this point. I am. These people are nuts. We shouldn't be firing teachers for this, and they shouldn't be getting banned from the profession either, because if you look on the other side as well, these teachers who play along with this, actively play along with this, and encourage students to socially transition, they face no consequences whatsoever, yet they're playing a huge part in these children's lives and indoctrinating them at the same time. The government should step in, prove to everybody that you are actually conservative and you care about the future generations, family units, etc. Step in and do something. You have the power to do it. Don't wait 5 years again and then bring more guidance in that is just as bad as the last lot. But leave your thoughts down below, ladies and gentlemen. Leave your thoughts on this teacher getting fired, banned from the profession, I would like to know how you guys feel. If you have enjoyed today, then please, for me also, again, make sure to leave a like rating, as it really, really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Share this video. And I'll just say now, I'm not going to be uploading tomorrow, obviously, because it is Christmas. So I wish you all a Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate it, I hope you still have a good time with your families. Nonetheless, it's a great time to really understand what you're grateful for, family, friends, and really just enjoy everybody's time. So again, I wish you all a Merry Christmas. I'll see you on the 26th of December. Have a great time. It has been your boy JD. I'm out. Peace.